Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. Yesterday, General Francis Ogolla was laid to rest as per the request he made to the family that he should be laid 72 hours after his death. I believe Ogolla was a Sunday worshipper and he was actually buried on a Sunday, the day he worships, if I'm not wrong. Now, before I let this matter rest in eternity, or before I let this matter rest forever, or before I speak to Ogolla's spirit and tell it to rest in eternal life, I have final remarks to make. It was a state funeral yesterday, so I couldn't find an opportunity maybe to speak. But I believe through this video, Kenyans will receive my speech maybe I could have given yesterday during Ogolla's burial, if at all I was to be given chance. You saw even Charlene sneaked. So that's part of life. Now, I have a few remarks to make before I let this matter rest. But before I do that, I want to play a video of General Ogolla in church speaking parables from a heavenly realm that not even a single individual at that time could comprehend the sentiments.
In my military life, I have come to learn the reality of human mortality. I have appreciated that life is finite, humans are mortal, and life is short. One morning, you are with a healthy colleague, the next minute, he's ashes and gone forever. Now you see him, now you don't. Seeing colleagues die in war, in accidents, or in sicknesses, the reality of human mortality lives with us each day. The remembrance parades, the funeral rites, imprints in us the eventual end of life and service, whether as a serving person or as a veteran. These final motions we go through imprints in our minds the reality of the end of life on earth. One verse that comes to memory every time I witness these motions, and some I witnessed even this week. John 11:25, where Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believes in me, though he dies, yet shall he live. This gives me the assurance that life on earth is in God's hands. So, and when it ends, because of my faith, I know, yet shall I live.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at that video clip, one, you can agree with me, the quality of that clip as it looks, it was recorded using a mobile phone. Yes, it was recorded using a mobile phone. Now, the intention of recording the video clip, I don't know, but I have a few observations to make. Ogolla is deeply speaking to his heart. and to a people, but in parables. He was speaking at the Life Ministry Church, and he says, in my military life, I have come to learn the reality of human mortality. Life is finite. Humans are immortal, and life is short. Did Ogolla know that Ogolla is speaking, life is finite, humans are mortal, and life is short. One morning, you are with a healthy colleague. The next minute, you are ashes. Right? Kaka, listen. I want to dwell on that statement. One morning, you are with a healthy colleague. The next minute, he is ashes. Underline the word ashes. Now, I want to focus on that word, ashes. Did Ogolla know that he will be burnt to ashes before he dies? By any chance, when Ogolla was alive, maybe in one way or another, did he really know that his body will be reduced to ashes? That is a question that maybe we will get answers during the second return of Jesus Christ. Did Ogolla had any clue on what will be the cause of his accident? Maybe he had a clue. When Ogolla speaks about ashes in church, and his body was actually reduced to ashes, it tells us something. Ogolla knew that something is going to happen in his life. And whatever that is going to happen in his life will reduce his body to ashes. Ogolla had instructed his family, according to the reports on the media, Ogolla had instructed his family early in advance not to bury him in a casket. I have two strong sentiments here that I want to expound. One, Ogolla talks of the ashes when he was alive in church. Ogolla is talking of not to be buried in a casket. Ogolla knew, according to the video and my own understanding, Ogolla understood very well that his body will be worthless after his death. Ogolla understood. This was too deep and emotional. But no one could be able to interpret this. People missed this. When Ogolla was alive, no human being interpreted this. Oh, this was so emotional and moving. Ogolla knew that yes, of course nitakufa na mwili wangu utachomwa hadi uwe jifu. Hakuna haja ya kunizika in an expensive coffin. There is no need for you to expense yourselves. Because after all, my body will be ashes. That is why he's telling the family, when I die, please do not bury my body in a casket. Ogolla is talking of the ashes. And he was reduced to ashes. Ogolla is refusing a casket. Why? Because he knew his body will be reduced to ashes. I have 3 questions before I conclude my analysis. I have 3 questions, ladies and gentlemen. Question 1. Did Ogolla know something that not even his family knew? Did Ogolla know something ni kama kuna kitu Ogolla alijua, but because of his position he couldn't speculate. He couldn't raise an alarm. Maybe there's something this general knew all along, that he tried to speak in parables by any chance, if anyone can be able to interpret the parables. But sadly, no one understood Ogolla's mind. So question 1, did Ogolla know something that not even his family knew? Question number 2, why was Ogolla forced to address death using parables? Why was Ogolla forced to address his death using parables? When Jesus was about to be crucified, he used parables when he was speaking to his disciples. He was speaking in the parables, and nobody understood. Alisema jogo itawika mara 3 na utanikana. And Peter was like, huh? Mmoja wenu atanitoa. And the disciples are like, ai? Huyu anasema nini? So Ogolla was speaking in a language. Ogolla was speaking in a heavenly language. Ogolla was already speaking from the heavens realms, and he was speaking not from this earth, like Jesus did. So after Jesus died, that is when people came back to their senses. Ndio maana alikuwa anasema hii. So after Ogolla died, that is when tumeanza kujiuliza, okay, no wonder alikuwa anasema hii. The last question, was Ogolla under any threat to have compelled him to address his death in such a parabolic manner? Was Ogolla under any threat? Those are some of the 3 questions ambayo yatajibiwa siku ya kiyama. Wakati Ogolla ataketi pale, Yesu aketi pale, na labda wengine waketi pale, akiuliza maswali, labda tutapata jibu. But of now, I want to officially close down this case and say, fare thee well, our patriotic General Francis Ogolla. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.